Well, hello, all of my crafty friends. Today I'm here with the Katherine Kelly 1000 subscriber hop. We have tons of prizes, tons of fun, tons of creators, and I hope that you guys will enjoy today. Make sure that you click the hashtag so that you can see everyone who is participating. All right, guys. So today, what I have for you guys is a cool card, and I was inspired by Katherine when she introduced mineral paper. So I decided that I was going to give mineral paper a try. And you guys know I'm not much of a mixed media artist, but I've been playing around a little bit. And that was because of some of the videos that I've seen from her. So in one of her particular videos, she used some sprays. So this is the mineral paper that I have purchased. Now, mineral paper is not regular paper. It is more like rocks, and it's very thin. And then I'm going to bring in some distressed oxide sprays. Now, I have played with these once before a little bit with some watercolor paper, but I had not played with them on the mineral paper. And when she played with them, she was telling us that they really hold water very well. So I have my peacock feathers, my faded jeans. I'm also going to be using the color evergreen bough. You guys can see that I'm doing like this blue-green color. We're going for water again. Cracked pistachio. We are going to use mowed lawn. That's another color that we have. And just because I'm trying to get a little bit of variation in some of the colors that I have going on. I also have tumbled glass in the repertoire for today. We are going to use some blueprint sketch, and we have our chipped sapphire. And then last but not least, we have our salty ocean. Now you'll see there's all the oxide in the bottom. You have to shake these things like there is no more shaking ever. I'm also going to bring in the aqua pigments gilded and pearl, just because I've really been loving those colors that they make with different types of elements, like the watercolor elements. So I'm going to get a piece of my mineral paper, and I am going to cut it in half, and I'm going to bring in my splat box. Now I'm going to start spraying. I'm going to spray. Now I'm going to tell you that I've learned a lesson. I learned this lesson twice. You do want to have fun. This paper will not warp, but this paper will take a ton of time to dry if you over saturate it. So I oversaturated my paper. I was having fun. I was having a blast. Like right here, I was like, ooh, this looks like a peacock. Like, oh my gosh, the things I could do with this. What I didn't realize was when I was having all of this fun, yeah, it was going to take a long time to dry. So I sat this aside and I waited over 24 hours, and it was still tacky. It was still coming off of my fingers. So of course, you guys know, I go and I message Katherine. I'm like, girl, what's the deal with this? I don't know what I'm doing. And so we go through all these motions and we finally get it dry. So huge shout out to Katherine. That's just the type of person that she is. She's always available. She's very sweet, very kind, and she is so willing to help. And she was telling me that she was right there beside me, just waiting to see if the things that we talked about worked. So we got our panel done. It came out well. I enjoyed it. It was super fun to work with. So I'm going to bring out all my other elements. You guys know that I'm a Cricuteer. So I had my Cricut cut out a bunch of pieces, and I'm going to do some paper layering, and I'm going to create a mermaid with the layers. So you guys see, I brought out all different variations of papers. I have some glitter paper. I have pearl paper. I have true brushed cardstock. I have shimmer paper. I just wanted a ton of texture in this piece. And that was one of the things that I've always noticed about Katherine's mixed media art. she's going for a lot of texture. And I will tell you guys, I'm not a huge mixed media person, but this was fun. I wouldn't say that this would be something that I would venture into all the time, but it was a fun adventure. It took me outside of my comfort zone, and it showed me that I could do it and make something that I really enjoy. So if you guys see something and you're like, that's not really my type, give it a try, because you can always put your own little twist on it, make it your own thing. Like I'm putting my Kiona on this, to make it something that you really, really enjoy. So I decided I've been on this sea theme, mermaids, kind of ocean thing. If you've seen my last few videos, you guys know like it has been really, really water based. I don't know why. Not my typical, maybe I'm feeling summery or something like that. I don't quite know, but it has been a fun week for me. So guys, while I'm gluing all these things together, let me just tell you guys, I want you guys to make sure that you're hopping, that you're commenting, that you're subscribing, and that you're giving thumbs ups. So Katherine and I and a couple other of our friends, we all reached our milestone of 1,000 around the same time. It was an amazing weekend. And so to celebrate, there have been several companies that are providing prizes. You have Pink and Main, Tonic Studios, Trinity Stamps, Poppy Stamps, Avery Elle, Wow Embossing Powder, and Newton's Nook, all giving prizes away for this. So you guys make sure that you're hopping. You have until the 10th of July to make your comments by midnight. And then on Katherine's channel, she is going to announce the winner on July 13th, and you will have 2 weeks to claim your prizes. So make sure you're commenting. Make sure that you are providing information as to where you are. Are you in the United States? Are you international? Are you in Canada? So that we will know. And make sure you're hopping. The hashtag will be in my title as well as in the description box below, so that you guys can just click on it. You will get an entire list of all of the creators that are on the hop, so that you can comment, because the more you comment, the greater your chances are. So make sure you're commenting and subscribing and showing some love to a lot of our creators. So this is what we've come up with. We have our mermaid. She has all of her colors. I got some glue around the edges, so I'm going to use this glue remover gummy thingy. Y'all tell me what it's called in the comments below, because I don't ever know the name of things. But at any rate, it worked really well. It took all the glue off after it dried. It just kind of rolled it up, and it worked out really well. I am loving the texture that I got, all the different colors, and I did it all with paper. It did not take me very long to do at all. I'm loving the sparkle of her tail. I had to add in my purple. That is my signature. And so now I'm going to bring out some of the Hollow Waves cardstock from Tonic Studios. That's what I use to make my shadow layer, as well as a couple of pieces of white cardstock. I decided to make that my thicker layer, and then I'm going to use some of my adhesive foil in this teal color, and I am going to write out, or I had my Cricut write out the word Mermazing. And I am actually using a mermaid font that I got from the font. I will see if I can link that also, because it has all the mermaid tails in different letters and different numbers, which I thought was so fitting for this. So I'm just going to use the word Mermazing, because the person is amazing, but we're talking about mermaids here, so why not make it Mermazing, right? Right. Okay. Do you guys like play on words like I do? I love play on words. But at any rate, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to glue those together. I have 3 of the white layers because, I like for my sentiments to feel like chipboard. And then I have the Hollow Waves holographic cardstock, which is beautiful. I was waiting for such a long time for that to come back in stock. It came back in stock, and I purchased stock in it. I won't be worried about that going out of stock anymore. I'm going to use some of my contact paper, and you guys know that I use the Dollar Tree brand contact paper. You can get it on Amazon in the bigger rolls for like $5. I will have it linked below. This is perfect whenever you're layering vinyl onto your cardstock. You guys know I call it my purple tape for vinyl. because it just has enough tack to hold everything together, and then for me to put it onto my next piece without me having any issues with my paper tearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to layer it on top of that Hollow Waves cardstock. Now this is a lot of shimmer and shine. It is a lot of bling. It is beautiful. I think that it goes so well with that whole, unicorn, fairies, mermaid type of feel. I hope that's the feeling that you guys are getting. I hope you guys will let me know in the comment section. Then I had my Cricut write "You Are." So I'm going to have "You Are Mermazing" as my sentiment on the front of my card. I also had the Cricut write "I am so proud of you" and a mermaid tail coming from the bottom. I am using some more of my cardstock from my stash as well as some green shimmer paper to make my mats for my card base. And so I am going to do that on the inside and the outside of my card. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and glue the inside of the card together. So I have the "I am so proud of you." I am layering that on this paper pad. It is like mermaid scales. And I think I got this cardstock from this paper pack from Hobby Lobby, but I might have gotten it from Michael's. I don't remember. It's been like 3 years. And I'm going to layer that on top of that shimmer paper from Cricut. And I absolutely love how this looked. All the colors are working so well together. I'm going to do the same thing with my outside mats, and this will be the piece that my watercolor mat, that's what I want to say. Yes, watercolor mat will go on top of this, and then I will create my scene. So I'm just ensuring that I have everything lined up. So now I have my piece all dried, thanks to Katherine. Oh my gosh, that was like such a thing. And I am going to decide what piece I want to be behind my mermaid. So I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to kind of test it out to see if I just need to cut the width, or do I need to cut the width and the height, and then kind of deciding where I want to place my mermaid, because I want it to look like the ocean behind her. So I'm kind of going with it, but then I think that I want to use the other side because I like the variation in the colors, the blues. I can see more of the golds and the silvers, or the pearl actually, behind her with that piece. So I'm going to use that piece, I believe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to my trimmer once I ensure that I have the correct measurements. I'm using my grid mat to make sure that I have that I'm about to cut that correctly, because I have a bad habit of cutting things incorrectly on my cards. So I'm going to take that off screen for just 1 second. I am going to measure it and I'm going to cut it out, and then I am ready to layer this on top of my card base. Now, typically, because this mineral paper is so very thin, I would typically mat it with a piece of regular cardstock, but I did not do that this time, and it worked out just fine. Sometimes I mat it onto other cardstock just because I don't want it to warp in any way, but you got to think about it. One of the things about this paper is that it does not warp. So I go ahead and I glue all of that down, and then I'm going to bring in my card base. Now, you guys know that I work in 5x7s. So I am going to actually bring in a piece of fun foam. I forgot I did that. I'm going to bring in a piece of fun foam, and that's what I'm going to mat the back of that mineral paper with. It's going to give me a little bit of elevation. I didn't have to use foam tape, and it is going to give some thickness to that mineral paper. Now, that fun foam that I'm using has an adhesive back on one side, so I was able to stick it directly to the mineral paper. And I'm just using my art glitter glue, and I get my art glitter glue and my stopper topper from maymaymadeit.com. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue it on to my mat. And I'm going to try to press that in as well as I can and flatten that out. And then I'm ready to build my scene up on this piece. I think this is coming together so awesome. So now I'm going to use my art glitter glue again. I'm going to go around all the pieces of my mermaid layering piece. I actually think in Cricut this was a a mermaid to create a shadow box, but that's just one of the things that I love about Design Space is that you can take an image and create whatever you want. You don't have to use all the elements for what it was designed for, and that is one of the features that I absolutely love because it allows me to be creative. So now I'm going to take my art glitter glue once again, and I'm going to glue down my Mermazing sentiment. I'm loving saying that. I'm pretty sure you guys see that by now, but I'm going to glue down my Mermazing, and I'm going to decide where I'm going to want that "You Are Small" banner to be placed at with that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that placed, and then I'm going to glue down the Mermazing. Once I get the Mermazing glued down, then I can work on putting the "You Are" sentiment in its place as well. Now I am pressing that down because I don't know, with all of this water and the mineral paper and all of those things, how well that will adhere initially. I usually don't have any issues when I'm gluing something down with my art glitter glue, which is why it is my favorite glue. It is my go-to. I can't get it in the wintertime up here in northern New York, so every year I purchase a 16 or 32 ounce bottle, and it is enough to last me the entire year. Now, you know I'm going to bring in some sparkle, so I brought in my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, and I'm going lightly over this mermaid tail. Now, I will tell you the Cricut pens are good for Copics, but they are not good for water, so I had to be very careful in the places that I was putting that in. I wasn't too concerned about if it smeared a little because it just kind of went with the theme to me, that watery type of theme. And then finally, I'm going to bring in some of my Morning Dew Nuvo drops just to create some bubbles. But what I found when it was all dried, that the bubbles actually turned blue like the background. It was pretty funny, but it was okay. It still worked out very well. So going along with that blue and green, teal, type of feel of the ocean, I'm going to bring in a blue cardstock base. And, my bases are typically my Recollections cardstock in the 100 pound. I usually use that because it's a way to save money because I am usually able to do a buy one. I think when I purchased these, it was buy one, get two free. So I stocked up on blacks and whites and blues and pinks and greens and all of those colors. And so I have a ton of it. I can't really find it anymore, but it's okay because I don't think that I will be running out anytime soon. But I typically use that for bases of things that I'm not going to be doing any coloring, any ink blending, any stamping, or anything on, because I don't really know how the Recollections paper works with all of that. But it does work well for my card bases because I score my card base on both sides. I never get any cracking, and it usually works for what I need. So that's my little money saving tip for today. You get that one for free, and I hope that it works for you. So now I'm just gluing down my inside of my card, and then I'm going to work on gluing down the outer portion of my card. Now, I will tell you guys something. I probably should have glued down my front card base and then did my Nuvo drops because I put my finger in it. Yep, I did. And so I will tell you guys to do as I say and not as I do, and put it in after. Do your embellishments after. I don't know if I was just thinking that I had used jewels or something. I don't know. But I was just all over the place and I had to fix that twice. So put your Nuvo drops or your embellishments on once you have glued down your card base. I am glad that it was in clear and not in another color because I might have had a real boo-boo at the very end. So this is pretty much our card for today. We have a beautifully shimmery, textured, dimensional card front that says that you are Mermazing. I chose to do this card because I truly do feel like Katherine is very amazing. She is our leader over at Team Tiny, and I love that group. It has been the thing that started me in the crafting community this year when I chose to come back to YouTube, and it has been absolutely so much fun to do the hops with them each month. I am so grateful for my friend Renee, who introduced me to Team Tiny and who has been my cheerleader this entire time, and for Katherine for creating this group. I am telling you guys that this has been a ride that I never want to really get off of. I have found some amazing friends on this journey. So this is our card. This is what we came up with. I hope that you guys enjoy.